Imagine a place where survival takes zero effort. In the whispering woods, food is abundant, the temperature is perfect, and a small white bird named Pip spends his days gliding through the canopy. Pip's entire existence consists of playing tag with the wind and eating wild berries. He doesn't store food, he doesn't reinforce his nest. When the environment gives you everything you want, there's no reason to plan for tomorrow. But high up in the oldest oak tree sits Mr. Hoot. He has watched generations of birds come and go, and he understands the actual cycles of the forest. He warns the younger birds that perfect weather is temporary. True safety, he tells them, isn't something the forest just hands you. It's something you have to actively build before the cold arrives. Pip assumes the warmth will last forever, but this comfort is hollow. Because he has never had to exert himself, his wings are soft, and he has no concept of how to endure even a slight chill. The season breaks with a suddenness the woods haven't seen in years. The warm breezes completely vanish, replaced by an icy wind that rips the brown leaves from their branches. Mr. Hoot issues an emergency directive. The great winter storm is tracking straight for the woods. Everyone needs to drop what they are doing and immediately build defensive shelters. This diagram shows what it takes to survive. A standard loose nest will fail. Birds need a reinforced structure, thick twigs for support, sealed with mud. But gathering these is incredibly difficult. Twigs grow on the highest peaks, and mud sits in the freezing river. Pip has spent his whole life playing. Now he's staring down a massive gap between the skills he has and the intense physical labor required to stay alive. Nature has stopped being a provider and started being a threat. Survival now requires intentional and painful work. That work takes an immediate toll. Pip flies straight into the headwind, muscles burning as he hauls a single heavy twig down from the peaks. Down below, the sparrows are taking a different approach. Instead of flying to the peaks, they are scraping together loose, dry grass from the forest floor to weave standard, flimsy nests. Because their method is fast, the sparrows finish quickly. They call out to Pip, mocking his heavy labor and inviting him to drop the twigs and come play in the remaining sunlight. Pip is exhausted. His wings ache. He watches his peers having fun, and the urge to drop the heavy wood and take the easy way out is overwhelming. Before he quits, Pip flies up to the old oak tree. He asks Mr. Hoot why he should suffer through this brutal labor when the sparrows seem perfectly happy with their grass nests. This stylized diagram illustrates Mr. Hoot's answer. He explains that extreme heat burns away the worthless stone to reveal the pure gold hidden inside. Without the fire, the gold stays trapped. The easy path leaves the sparrows fragile. By hauling the heavy wood and packing the frozen mud, Pip is hardening his wings and sharpening his entire focus, developing the physical and mental tools he will need to weather the coming freeze. Pip processes the owl's logic. He realizes that diligence offers a permanent reward, while the sparrow's laziness offers only a temporary distraction. He makes his choice. He ignores the calls from the sparrows, turns his back on the games, and launches himself into the biting cold. Long after the sparrows go to sleep, Pip is still working. He dives into the freezing river for mud and scales the peaks for the final structural branches. He weaves the thick wood together and packs the river mud deeply into every single gap, ensuring the wind cannot penetrate the walls. His body is completely drained, but by choosing the difficult path, Pip has engineered an impenetrable fortress. The great winter storm finally slams into the forest. The temperature drops and heavy snow whips through the branches at hurricane speeds. The loose grass nests built by the sparrows fail almost instantly. The wind shreds their walls, leaving them entirely exposed to the deadly freeze. But inside Pip's nest, there is total silence. The thick mud and heavy branches hold firm against the blizzard, keeping the interior warm and dry. Pip hears the panicked cries outside. Because he is secure, he has the capacity to help. He opens his entryway and pulls the freezing sparrows into his shelter. Shivering in the warmth, the sparrows look at the solid walls around them. They admit that their shortcut was a mistake, and that Pip's grueling labor was the only viable strategy. Enduring the difficult path of perseverance secures our own safety against the storms of life. And once we build that internal strength, we generate the power to protect the people around us.